Hundreds of British troops who've served in Iraq and Afghanistan come home suffering from mental health issues, including, of course, post-traumatic stress disorder.
The family of Corporal Harry Killick, who's currently facing a jail sentence for stealing a rifle, have accused the army of betraying their son by ignoring the signs of combat trauma.
Well, we're going to talk to Harry's dad, Mick, and sister Linda in just a moment. But first, Nick Dixon is outside the prison in Surrey, where Harry is being held. Nick, tell us about the background to this story.
Morning, Lorraine. Well, Harry's been in prison now for around about 2 months. He has been in the army, served for more than 10 years now. He's had tours in Afghanistan, in Northern Ireland, and also in Bosnia. And it was last year, when he returned from Afghanistan, that his family and his friends really started to get concerned about Harry's behaviour and, crucially, his mental health. In October, he was arrested and then charged with theft and possession of a gun. Now, Harry pled guilty to those charges and will be sentenced next month. But his family say that they are deeply concerned about his mental health now, because they say he's on suicide watch in the prison. And a lot of it is down to the fact that he has struggled badly with post-traumatic stress disorder, and they say that his mental health is deteriorating really quite rapidly.
Nick, thank you. Well, Harry's dad, Mick, and sister Linda join us now, along with former SAS soldier Bob Paxman, who founded the charity Talking2minds. Now, I know how upset you are finding this so distressing, so difficult for you. It's been really, really tough, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
Yeah, I know, and I know that you just want to get him help. He needs to get help, doesn't he?
Just help Harry, yes. He's not my son anymore. He doesn't belong in prison. I know he's done wrong. He shouldn't have stolen the gun, but he stole it to end his life, not to hurt anybody. And the law is the law, and he must be punished for what he's done. But he's come back from Afghanistan with something you can't see. You can't see post-traumatic stress, can you? And it's an injury. You don't necessarily have to have an arm and a leg missing to be injured.
Of course.
You know, we didn't know anything about it and still don't really, although we're being educated by people now, but he's not getting the help. Every time Linda and I visit him on a Thursday, he's worse. The prison's doing their best. Yeah. You know, they really are.
But he does need
High Down is supposed to be a very, very good prison, and we can't fault them. We've got nothing to say bad about them.
I think they just manage Harry. They can't treat Harry.
They can't treat him.
Because they're not trained or anything. They look after him when he's having a bad day.
But he needs specialist help.
Specialist treatment that Harry needs.
He needs specialist help right now, that's it. And he's on a suicide watch as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Why isn't he getting this help, Bob?
Personally, I don't think the system's actually set up for this type of trauma. In an hour's visit, you can't actually do much apart from build a little bit of rapport with somebody. Yeah. And this is very much what happens within the NHS with the classic forms of therapy. You'll get an hour's worth of therapy, and then you won't see somebody for another 2 weeks. Well, that's not really quite adequate enough for, especially for this type of thing. This chap actually needs a very consolidated course that's probably going to be somewhere in the region of 2 or 4 days long to actually deal with the underpinning condition and the emotions that are setting this off.
And we still don't really understand this condition, and this is going to be huge, isn't it? There's going to be a lot more soldiers coming home that are going to be in the same situation, so clearly there's an awful lot of work that has to be done. And I think as well there's a problem sometimes with soldiers asking for help. Yeah. Do you find that?
Absolutely. There's a whole load of stigma behind this for a start, and the MOD are running a campaign to reduce the stigma. But at the end of the day, if we're looking at people coming out of the military or people still within the military, the last thing you're going to do is go and see somebody wearing a white coat. Because of Defence Medical Services, you go and see them, you're classed as a malingerer or being lazy, or
So it's a whole change of culture.
Yeah, absolutely,
that is
absolutely.
Needed. What can be done now? Because we see the distress of his family. What should happen now, in your opinion?
Well, they've obviously taken the right step here. Right. There's a campaign going on in the background, which is Help Harry, and as that gets larger, there should be a petition that's written, that's submitted, just to raise the profile around this. But I think what Harry needs right now is more attention, people going in and actually doing some work with him.
Yeah.
If we look at the prison probation populace, we're looking at about 10–11% that are veterans, ex-military. Yeah, and they're all in there for self-harm, harming others, drugs and alcohol-related offences. Well, they're all very, very similar symptomology as with PTSD. So something's going on there that needs to be addressed.
I know, and you just want to get him well, don't you? You just want to get him well, get him home.
I need my son back, Lorraine.
Of course you do.
Of course you do. Of course you do. Thank you for talking to us.
Yes.
We really appreciate it. I know how distressing it's been for both of you. And obviously, you know, the campaign is kicked off. And you must keep in touch with us to let us know how that
Absolutely.
goes.
And when you see him on Thursday, let him know that there are a lot of people out there caring for him.
We do every time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good to talk to you.
And thanks to you, Bob, as well. We have a statement from the Ministry of Defence. They won't comment on individual cases, but told us that the mental health of service personnel is a top priority for them and that they're spending £7.2 million on improving services. They say there's a wide range of help and support already available, and they're committed to reducing the stigma of mental illness to encourage more personnel with problems to speak up.
Well, let's see what they do in this case.
Yeah.
It would be good to hear from them. Thank you very much indeed.